No. How many times do you see these people that have tons of money and their life just implodes? Uh, I just listened to an audio book and Pillars of Flower, and they had Indian pretty, and they were really simple people with no material possessions, and all of a sudden they've got more money than they know what to do with, and it didn't make their life better. So see, be really happy you're here and not at a GPYC or DYC, right? Oh. Well, come to a pose where you can be still. And you can simply breathe and bring awareness to the breath. Just taking a moment of gratitude for yourself for making the effort to come here. I was, many of you know who Uli is. Yesterday, he was telling me about his back issues, and I'm like, you better start taking care of that, my friend. You're not getting any younger. He said he's not flexible enough for yoga. I said, that's why you need yoga, Uli. Oh, not a good excuse. So, but you got to take care of yourself. He's a male? Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's like, what are you doing? Just come to class. I was gonna, oh, my girlfriend sent me this the other day. It says, and one day I understood that it's no one's job but mine to take care of myself and make myself happy. That's what we're doing right here, taking care of ourselves. Hopefully we leave in a much better mood. So take a big inhale. Let it go out the mouth. And do that again. Breathe in. Let it go. And you can do that just a few more times. Deep inhales. And imagine breathing anew, letting go of the old. And once you feel like you are mentally here, not just physically, close the mouth. Start to bring that breath in through the nose and out through the nose. Let's right away go into cobbler's pose. Bring the soles of feet together, knees wide. And if you want to take the arms into a cactus shape, get a little chest opener. And if that doesn't work, just put the arms back beside you. Or if you need an extra block, sometimes putting blocks under the hands helps. A few more breaths right here. Let's plant the feet, step the feet a little wider than the hips, drop the knees in on each other. If you don't like that feeling, put the block in between your knees. And let's separate the knees. Keep the knees wide, drop them both to the right. And you might put the block underneath that right leg to bring the floor up. You could stay where you are. You could lift the right foot and put it on the outer part of the left knee. Come through center and do it opposite. Go the other way. Let's come back through center. Plant the feet on the mat. Walk feet back so the ankles are in line with knees. Knees in line with hips. Bring the hands behind the head. Interlace the fingers. Take the elbows wide. And as you exhale, lift the head and shoulders. It was locked, sorry. Here. You can go right here over there. Keep going. Exhale, you lift. Inhale, lower down. Bless you. Take maybe 4 more. You making room for John? He must have rode his bike slow. Yeah, he's here. So you go right there if you want, Sally. Or you can go right there, either way. And then once you're done, release the hands. Arms beside you, palms down. And you'll lift up into bridge pose. Lower down. And once you come down, bring the right knee in. Push the foot straight up. Bring the arms back beside you, palms down. And you're going to lift into a one-legged bridge. Nice. Lower down, ankle over thigh. And if you can, pull that left foot back in a little bit. Bring the hands behind the head again. Interlace the fingers, elbows wide. Rise and twist left to right. Here, I can move this a little. Keep going. Rising and twisting. Take about 3 more. And then once you're done, take your version of reclined pigeon. You could interlace the fingers behind the thigh, around the shin. Pull the knee in. Or you got a counter pose going. Or counter action, right knee's moving away as the left knee moves in. Place the foot down. Once the foot's down, twist over to the left. Right foot staying on that left thigh. Take it over to the left. Just come back through center. Stay like you are and counter twist. Go over to the left. Maybe turn the head right. Come back through center. Plant both feet. Arms are beside you. Palms are down. Full bridge. Lift the hips. Come back onto the mat. Pull the left leg in. Push that leg up towards the ceiling. Arms are beside you. Palms down. Our one-legged bridge, which is a back strengthener, but it also is getting into the glutes. Nice. Right back down. Once you're down, ankle over thigh, hands behind the head, elbows wide. Rise and twist right to left. And you could lift the right leg if you want to. Keep going. Same direction, same direction. And then once you've done the same amount, take yourself into a reclined pigeon pose. But remember, you're moving with the breath. As you exhale, you rise and twist. As you inhale, you lower. So Maria, you'd be bind behind the right leg. The right leg, you no, right over. Yeah, but you're binding behind. Yep, the opposite leg. There you go. I'm sorry, I was looking at you backwards and my right and left weren't translating. But lower down, keep that ankle over thigh, twist to the right side. Just come through center, take it the opposite way. Let's come back through center. Bring both knees in. And once you have the knees in, move a little side to side. Keep the head, the shoulders down. Move side to side. And then do some circles on the mat. Go in one direction, go the opposite direction. And then once you come back to neutral, push the feet straight up towards the ceiling. From my vantage point, you look like you're precarious with the table. So make sure when you come up, you move forward a little. I'll show make my novice. I don't need to be novice. And the hands, reach the fingers towards the toes. Roll the wrist, roll the ankles, point and flex, get a whole bunch of movement in. Maybe wiggle fingers, wiggle toes. And then pull the knees in. Pull the knees in, pull into a tight ball. Lower the head down. Keep the right leg in, extend the left leg out long. And then you can lower the left heel to the floor, or you want to keep it lifted 2 inches above the floor, do that. And then you want to go into the full version of the pose, lift the head. So I think it was on, what day did I teach my digestive class? Tuesday. I taught a class, it was all for digestion. Because I work with people who have neuromuscular disorders, and sometimes that digestive system does not work very well. Doesn't work very well for a lot of us sometimes. Lower the head, lower the foot, guide the right knee over to the side, and take that knee in big circles. So you have this brain gut axis, right? System of nerves. And if you're stressed, you don't have good circulation, it can affect your digestion. So yoga helps. Twist help. Come back through center. Pull the right knee across into a big twist. And this is one of the sequences. This is a really good one for the internal organs, the digestive tract, of course. Anything that helps with digestion is usually also very good for the spine. Come back through center. Bring both knees in again. Pull yourself into a tight ball. Lower the head. Keep the left leg in. Extend the right leg out long. And you can lower the heel. You can keep that foot a couple inches above the floor. And then add the head. Lift the head. Tuck in round. Nice. Don't hold the breath. Just hold the pose. Lower head, left, right foot's down. Guide the left leg to the side. And once it's there, move some circles, all directions. And then you'll come through center, cross over, take it across into a twist. Use the right hand to take it across. So this group of students that I was teaching the class to, they're all over the country. And actually there's one in Portugal. So I'm an international yoga teacher. You guys didn't know that. But one of the students, she lives in Utah. And I was talking about how, now toilets are much higher, so they're easier to get on and off of, but that's not how we should be sitting on the toilet. Your knee should be higher. So what does someone come up with? The squatty potty. Have you heard of the squatty potty? Yeah. The guy who invented the squatty potty lives next to my student, Mary Ellen, in Utah. So I am one person away from the squatty potty. You guys did not know how almost famous I am. Come back through center. Pull the knees in again. And then again, tuck the head, nose towards the knee, chin towards the chest. Lower the head down. Arms wide, palms up. Drop the knees to the right. Turn the head left. They were talking about the squatty potty, and one of the students said, "Oh, you don't need a squatty potty. You can just use 2 yoga blocks. It'll do the same thing." And that's how I found out that this man lived next to Mary Ellen, because she's like, "No, my grandkids like to swim in his pool. We want him to keep making money." Come back through center and twist over to the left. Turn the head right. Come back through center, stretch out really long. Reach the arms overhead, point the toes away. Imagine you're getting taller, you're uncompressing here. Couple more breaths, just lengthening. Maybe even point the toes away. And you're going to move hands and feet towards the right. So you're in that side bend, that half reclined crescent pose. Come back through center, stretch out, and same thing left side. Come back through center. Bring the knees in. Push the feet straight up towards the ceiling so you're in candlestick. But then we're going to take the hands back behind the head. Interlace the fingers, elbows are wide. As you exhale, lift head and shoulders. Come back down as you breathe in. Keep going. Keep going. Moving with the breath. Stay with those elbows broad. That's a chest opener. So you take a few deep breaths as you're doing this. And then once you lower the head back down, bring the knees in towards the underarms, taking a version of happy baby. And you have a strap. So if you need the strap on the feet, you can use the strap. Knees in towards the underarms. And then once again, pull the knees in and come on to your left side. Fetal posture will go the same direction. Stack the hands under the face. Pull the chin in. Pull the knees in. Nice place to scan the body. Notice how you feel. And we're going to come up to seated. Once you're in seated, have your strap nearby and make sure you're in the middle of the mat. And we're just going to start by straightening the legs. Heels are down, toes are up. Reach the arms up. So we're going to do this 2 times, once without the strap and once with the strap, unless you can reach your toes. Reach up, hinge and fold over. Yeah. Watch your head collapse. We don't want any injuries. I come forward a little bit more. Are you good? Okay. From my vantage point, it looks like you're very close. The idea is you're folding, you're not rounding over the feet. And then you'll come back up, plant the feet. We're going to take a round of boat pose. Plant the feet, lift the legs. Back's nice and straight. You could go wide with the arms, or arms right alongside the legs. We almost showed Anne why she needed this pose yesterday, but then we decided it was a little too windy to go out on the sky. That's what we would have called baptism by fire, right? Cross legs seated. Take the arms up overhead, reach up, look towards the hands, and then spread the arms wide, go into a back bend. Straighten the back, hands come to heart center. And we're just gonna tuck and round, chin to chest, round the back. Come back up on it, inhale, twist right. Stay with the palms pressing together, look over the right shoulder. Come back through center and we'll twist to the left. Back through center, reach the arms up, fold over the legs. And maybe use your block. If you need to bring the floor up, that's what you do. You put your hands on the block. It's also nice if you can bring the forearms down either onto the floor or the block, because then you get more into the low back. If you need the legs straight, have the legs straight. Sometimes cross leg seated does not work for everybody. Come back up as you breathe in. If the legs are crossed, we're changing the cross of legs, and we're just going to do that exact sequence again. arms up on an inhale. Take a little back bend, look up and behind. Straighten the back, hands to heart center, breath in, twist right. Through center, take a breath in. As you exhale, twist left. Come back through center, tuck and round, chin to chest, rounding. Pull the belly towards the spine. And then you'll reach the arms back up, straighten and fold over the legs. Rise up, we're gonna plant the feet. One more round of boat pose. Plant the feet, you can go wide with the arms or take them alongside the legs. If you need to hold the legs, hold the legs. You need to keep the toes down. Just balance on those sit bones. Don't fall out of your boat. The water is really warm though, so if you did fall out of your boat, it'd be okay. I swam in the lake twice this week. Lower the legs down, straighten the legs, grab your strap. Hook the feet with the strap. Unless you know you can reach up and hook the toes, you don't need to use the strap. I like the strap, it's good leverage. Take a breath in and then fold over. Walk the hands closer to the feet, hook the toes with the first two fingers, elbows wide. Just a more active forward fold to stretch the back of the legs. Come back up on an inhale. Left leg stays straight. Pull the right leg in. And then see if you can cross it over. If you cross it over, you get more into the hip. Right hand behind. Take the twist again, wrapping around. Look over the right shoulder. Just one more twist here. Pull left toes back. Come back through center. We'll go with the right leg straight. Pull left leg in and just cross it right on over. Sit up tall. Left hand's behind. Twisting again, using the right arm. If you can pull right toes back towards you, get a little more stretch in the back of the leg. Nice. Come back through center. We're just going to come right onto the hands and knees table pose. If anyone needs extra padding for their knees, let me know. Once you're in table pose, big toes together, knees wide, push to child's pose. And you have the block, so if you need to bring the floor up to put the block under the forehead, do that. Walking the hands out, pressing the palms in. Move from the waist up, take the hands towards the right. You're not moving the knees or the hips, it's all from the waist up. Come back through center. And we'll do the exact same thing over to the left. Let's come back through center, table pose, inhaling. And once you're in table pose, let's take some cat-cow. You can always move hands forward if it's too much pressure on the wrists to have the wrists under shoulders. Drop the belly, shift the gaze. And then tuck and round, chin to chest, full spine up. Keep going, belly drops, the gaze shifts. Exhale, tuck and round. Keep going, maybe 4 or 5 more. And you think of tailbone right to the very tip of the head. That's all that's moving. You want to connect the breath with the movement. Inhale, you're in cow. If you're exhaling, scared cat. And you're going to find your way after the next round, neutral table. And in neutral table, let's curl the toes under and just take the knees 2 inches off the floor, if that's available. If it doesn't work for you, you can skip this. Just a nice way to build full body strength. Yeah, if you have to skip it, skip it. Okay. Come back onto the hands and knees. Stay with the toes curled under and just push your hips back towards your heels to stretch the bottoms of the feet. Come back up, lift the feet up, wiggle toes, roll the ankles, get some movement. You can point, you can flex. And then we're going to curl the toes, lift the hips, down dog. Take a few breaths here in this inversion, hanging upside down. You want to look like that upside down V shape. Look at the center of the mat. Pull the chest towards the thighs. You can also look between the thighs if that works for your neck. That's the traditional drishti. Come back onto the hands and knees. Extend the right leg out behind left arm. Come into our spinal balance here. Flex the foot. Try not to lean to the left. If you're leaning to the left, just lower the, nice adjustment, Mary Ellen. Lower that right foot down a bit if you're leaning to the left. Keep going. 3 more breaths here. Lower the hand. Step the right foot forward. Bring it inside the right hand. Even if you have to help it forward, and if it's too much for your left knee, just fold your mat over a little bit. Bring both hands to the thigh. And then sweep arms up. Grounded crescent into a back bend. Spread the arms out wide. And we'll straighten the back. Draw hands to heart center. Big breath in. And as you exhale, we're twisting right. If you can lean forward and hook elbow outside knee, do that. So left elbow outside right knee, keeping the palms pressing together. And then you could shift the gaze over the right shoulder. If you need to stay upright with the palms pressing together, it works. Come back up into our grounded crescent as we inhale. Lower the hands. Come to table pose. Once you're in table pose, walk the hands out to come down into puppy pose. Bring the face, the chest towards the floor. Bend into the low back. Give this a few breaths here. Table pose. Once you're in table pose, bring the shins, the knees together. Sink back to turtle shell, and you might take the block and just put it right under the top of the head. Arms beside you, palms up. Some pressure on the belly as you move side to side. Table pose. And then again, down dog. Curl the toes, lift the hips. Spread the fingers between the thumb and the index finger. That should look like an L. Come back onto your hands and knees, table pose. Left leg goes out, right arm, spinal balance. You might have to adjust. You want to reach that arm out, like imagine you're shaking someone's hand. Spread the fingers even on the right hand. Look at the front edge of your mat. Flex the back foot. All these little things you add on make it a little more intense. So, Margaret, turn your thumb so it's up towards the ceiling. Yeah, there you go. Nice. Remember, shaking means you're building muscle. You're working hard. Lower the hand down. We're going to step the left foot forward. And again, if you have to help it in place so you get the ankle in line with knee. Hands to thighs. Arms come up on an inhale. Add the back bend, look up and behind. And we'll straighten up, hands to heart center. Take a breath in. Twisting left. You can stay upright. But if you can go a little further and hook the elbow outside the knee, looking over the shoulder, That's where we add that little bit in for digestion. And we're going to do the same sequence standing. Nice. Come back through center. Arms come up. Lower the hands. Once the hands are out, table pose. And then one more time, take a puppy pose. See if you can go a little further into it this time. You might even straighten the arms a little more. Of course, if that doesn't work with your shoulders, don't do it. Table pose. And then once again, turtle shell. Sinking back, hips to heels, arms beside you. And turtle shell doesn't work. You can take a child's pose. Maybe put a little pressure on the belly. You can move a little bit side to side. Table pose. Down dog. And then from down dog, shift into plank pose. Use your knees if you need them. Just gonna hang out here for a few breaths in plank. Try not to lock the elbows. Try and look right at the front edge of the mat. Really nice. And now come onto knees so you can lower onto the belly. Once you're on the belly, straighten the legs. Press the tops of the feet in. Draw the hands right under the shoulders. Press the palms in. Bring the elbows in tight. And we're going to do 3 baby cobras. Inhale, lift the head, lift the shoulders, lift the chest. Exhale, lower down. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Lower. 1 more time. Lift up. Lower down. Once you lower down, stack the hands. Turn the face to the left. And you can rest the face on the hands. Pull the right knee into half frog. So you get the knee in line with the hip, ankle in line with knee. Option to go wide with the arms, palms down, and turn the face to the left. You can also just stack your chin on your hands. So we want to make these poses work. So your face should be opposite your knee. And then take this opposite, straighten the leg and do it on the other side. Some of you are on the left side. Just adjust to make sure you're doing it on the other side and then turn the face away from that bent leg. Straighten the leg. And this time we're going to center the chin on the mat. Bring the arms beside you, palms up, and 1 full big locust pose, lifting the head, the shoulders, the chest, the arms, the legs. Don't bend the knees. Maybe bring arms higher than the back. Awesome. Lower down. Once you lower down, go back to turtle shell. 1 more time, we'll take that counter pose. Table pose. Down dog. And you can walk your feet towards your hands. If you need to close the gap and bring hands towards feet, you can do that to come into a forward fold. Wherever you are in your fold, though, make sure you're not locking the knees. And then you're going to lift up enough the arms just hang. And when they're hanging there, circle them in a few times. Circle them out. Take a breath in, lift up, peek forward, get the back really flat. Fingers around the shin. Fold back in. We're going to sit into chair pose, fierce pose, Utkatasana. Sit low, more weight in the heels and the toes. Yeah. Mountain pose. Hands come to heart center. Then look down at your feet. You have about 4 or 5 inches in between the feet. And you're not digging the toes in, because as soon as you dig the toes in, we take the arch off the floor. We don't want to do that. We want to keep our foundation. Take the arms up overhead. Grab left wrist, extend over to the right. Look towards left arm. Come back through center and then just change it up. Grab the right wrist, take it to the left. Come through center, big back bend, all from the waist up. Exhale, fold forward. Take a breath in, lift up, peek forward. Fold in right back into chair. We're going to do 3 half sun A's, and then we'll do that crescent warrior sequence, the full version of it. Try and look forward when you're in chair pose. If you can get the arms closer to the ears, come right on up to mountain pose. Hands to heart center, and we're just going to keep going. Arms up, grab left wrist, step the left foot over the right, extend to the right. And here it's a tendency to clench the toes because we're trying to balance. Relax them. Come back through center. Right crosses left, take the right wrist over to the left, look towards right arm. Then come back through center. Take a nice big back bend. Exhale, fold. Breath in to lift up, peek forward. Fold in, maybe brush fingertips on the floor as you sit low into chair. Getting those thighs parallel to the floor. Mountain pose. Hands come to heart center. And then take the arms up. Lift the heels. Heels down, lift, spread the toes. Toes down, fold forward, and then come right back halfway up like you have wings. Arms are out, palms are down. Fold in one more time, sit into chair. Mountain pose. Hands come to heart center. Step up to the top of your mat, and then make sure you have a little space between the feet. So that foundation, our mountain pose. I'll let you be the star today, Donna.
You know, I've noticed in that video that I am in great prominence in this space.
I will share all my riches with you. My virtual yoga career. No, you're good. You're good. Arms up on an inhale. Draw the left knee up. Don't look at yourself in the video. I should turn it. I have to figure out how to. If I don't have a pin like that, then the person who watches the recording sees the other people that are at home. Step the left foot back. Come into crescent warrior. You get used to it. I got used to it with the COVID lockdowns. Hands to heart center. Take a breath in. Twist to the right. Look over the right shoulder. When we had to go, when we went into the lockdowns and we're like, okay, what are we going to do? And then it was obvious we were going to go into this remote world, which is something I had never envisioned doing. Come back through center, reach the arms up, and then shift into airplane pose. Take a balancing pose. And some teachers just wouldn't do it. And I'm like, that's the worst that's going to happen. I make a few mistakes. I do that in person, right? Lower back down into crescent warrior. Arms come up and then just step right up. Draw the hands to heart center and come right into a fold. See if you can hook the big toes with the first 2 fingers. Bring the crown of the head closer to the floor. Breath and lift up, peek forward. Fold back in. But this community, this group, it's comforting to people because the people who requested that the class be recorded, I mean, they could just go on YouTube and find a million different yoga classes, right? But they want that connection, even though they're at work this morning. Sit into chair pose. Come up to mountain pose, close it out, hands at heart center. And then we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side. So make sure you have that foundation. And then we're going to pull the right knee up. Pausing here. And if you stay with the hands on the hips, that will help with balance. Maybe you Reach the arms up. Flex the foot. Step back, crescent warrior. Pause here. Draw the hands to heart center. Take a breath in. Twist to the left. Look over the left shoulder. Let's make sure you're on the ball of the back foot. We want the toes all going the same way. Come back up, arms come up, and then we're going to shift into that airplane pose. Have the drishti, flex the foot. Really nice. Lower the back toes down. We're back in crescent warrior for a breath. Step up to the top of the mat. Fold forward, and then this time either opposite elbows, hook the big toes, lift the feet. You could slide the hands under the feet coming into gorilla pose. Release the mind, sit into chair pose again. A chair to standing is just a great way to build leg strength, quad strength. And right on up to mountain pose. Yep. Hands to heart center. We're just going to do that sequence one more time. Going to add an option on. Standing up nice and tall. Pull the left knee up. Reach the arms up. Step back into crescent warrior. And then we're going to bring hands to heart center. You can stay upright and twist to the right. Or if you want to lean forward, see if you can hook elbow outside knee. Just adds a little more. You can even take the arms wide. It's not necessary. You can try it. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, you just come back upright. Nice. Back up crescent warrior. And then take flight. Go into warrior 3. Airplane pose. Lower the left toes down. Crescent warrior, inhaling. And let's add a little dip here. Left knee towards the floor. Come back up. Step up to the top of the mat. Fold forward again. Grab opposite elbows in front of the legs, or maybe go behind the legs this time. Little bit bigger bend in the knee as the crown of the head comes towards the floor. And then we're going to release, come up through mountain pose. Hands come to heart center. So left side, last side here, back to our foundation. Pull the right knee up, majorette. Pause here, flex the foot. Stepping back into crescent warrior. If you don't land on the ball of the back foot, adjust. And if your feet were next to each other, you would have space between the feet. So think of railroad tracks, not a tightrope here. Hands to heart center. Breath in. Twist to the left. You want to stay upright, you can do that. You can hook elbow outside knee. So adjust, Marianne, so you're on the ball of the back foot, if that works. Okay, yep. There you go. Which makes a very hard balancing pose. Good work. Back up on an inhale. If you fell out of a pose, it means you are trying really hard. Shift forward. Warrior 3. I used to have a teacher years ago, and his goal was to sequence every class so everybody fell out of a pose. So nice. Lower back down, crescent warrior on the left side. And then we'll come back up to the top of the mat. Just drop the hands by your side, mountain pose. Palms slightly forward. Stand up tall. Draw the head back a little bit so ears in line with shoulders. We still have soft knees. Turn the head to the right. Don't hold your breath. Keep a nice steady breath going. Probably notice your heart rate's up a little bit. You might be sweating a little bit. Come back through center. Turn the head to the left. Back through center, relax the shoulders, drop the right ear towards the right shoulder. Strain as you inhale, as you exhale, left ear, left shoulder. And straighten the head, open the eyes. Choose one balancing pose. Take it on each side one time. And it can be tree pose, it could be majorette again, just extending the leg. You could use your strap and extend the leg. You could come into that figure 4 shape, which is a big hip stretch. Airplane pose. You could do a handstand. See if you can hold for 5 breaths and then just take it on the opposite side. And try to look forward at a drishti, a gaze point, instead of down. If we look down, we can end up going down, and we want to stay balancing here. You got a tree pose with a smile back there. Very nice. And then once you're done, we're going to come back onto our mat. Make sure your block is close. And once you're on your mat, you're going to be in the middle of the mat. We're just going to do the same pose we did earlier. So let's take the left leg straight, hold the right leg in, and then see if you can cross it over. It might feel a little different. Sit up nice and tall, right hand behind, wrap around, look over right shoulder. Taking a couple breaths here. So let's use that right hand to keep the back straight, the left arm to twist. Unwind, right leg straight, do the same. Left leg in, cross it over, sit up tall. Left hand behind, take a twist, look over the left shoulder. And really bind, press the thigh against the stomach. Come back through center, soles of feet together. And then you could hook the toes, you could walk the hands forward, you could slide the hands under the shins. Give yourself a few breaths here in a seated cobbler's pose. Moon dance, and it's the full moon. I should have played my moon playlist. Next week, remind me. I have a whole playlist for us lunatics. Donna's a lunatic. I will. In my speaker. Come back up, plant the feet, arms out in front, palms face each other. Use the core to come onto the back. Once you are on your back, hold the knees in. And then one more time, come into candlestick. Take the feet straight up towards the ceiling. Get all that oxygen-rich blood going through. Bring it back towards the head and heart. Getting that energy going for the second half of the day. Bring the knees in. Take yourself into a tight ball. Big, big breath in. Maybe just clench all the muscles, even the muscles in the face. And then you're going to find your way as you sigh out to Shavasana, but you have your block. So if you want to give your back some support, you can put that block under the low back. If you want 2 blocks, you can put blocks behind the knees. I can bring you an extra block. If you want a block or a chair for your legs, perfect. If you're putting the block under the low back, make sure it's in that low flat part of the back, right at the tailbone. Jean, turn it. Yeah, there you go. Turn it the opposite way. So it gives you, turn it in the direction that it gives you the most support. Closing the eyes and just same thing, full circle. Coming to our final pose, our place of rest. Shavasana. If you have a block underneath you, take it out. Stretch out long, just like we did at the very beginning. Reach the arms overhead, point the toes away. Bring the knees in. And then this time, let's come into fetal posture, right side. Let's take a moment there. Let's come up to seated, eyes closed, hands at heart center. Big inhale through the nose. Let it go out the mouth. Some work. Namaste. Well, thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend. And I was thinking about it, Jean. We'll have to find out if there's a fan around. I think there was before, but it was super loud. Yeah, so maybe I can tuck one somewhere in. Yes. Yeah. 9. Mhm. Getting later. I know. No, actually, yeah, because yesterday was 8 something, but it was still sunny out. Yeah. So yeah, tonight at 9. Well, we'll be here. Is it? Oh, I just read Killers of the Flower Moon or listened to it. All right, bye, Denise.
Thank you.